auction, the action now shifts to on-field activities. India, of course, is scheduled to play a three-match T20 series against West Indies, which begins tomorrow at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. And Rohit Sharma came for a pre-series or a pre-match press conference today and spoke on various issues. He was asked a few questions on a few things like Virat Kohli, Hardik Pandya, role of Kuldeep Yadav, who's made a comeback into the team, and how do they look at this Indian team and the future as far as the T20 World Cup, which is now just uh, around 7 to 8 months from here. So Rohit Sharma came for the press conference, and a lot of questions were asked. In fact, Virat Kohli, that was one question that he was asked after the ODI series also, and he was asked a similar question today also in the pre-match series, where he was asked about the the runs or the hundreds that have not been coming as far as Virat Kohli is concerned. Rohit Sharma, in fact, he advised people uh, to just leave Virat alone, and he admitted that maybe he's not getting those hundreds, those big hundreds of late for the past for more than a couple of years now. But he's been getting those important fifties. That is what Rohit Sharma said. In fact, you would remember after the ODI series, Rohit Sharma was asked a similar question, and he was asked about the confidence, whether Virat is lacking some confidence, and then Rohit Sharma's response was that if Virat is lacking confidence, that he wonders who else, who has the confidence in that Indian team. So he completely dismissed the idea that Virat is not in a good state of mind. He said that. He's in a great space. That is what Rohit Sharma feels, and he's saying that he didn't use the word outside noise, but he did mention that whatever is happening around Virat in terms of people talking about his form, people talking about the lack of hundreds that he's not been able to score in the last couple of years. So all those issues, if they remain away from Virat Kohli, definitely Virat is going to come back strongly. Now, other questions, of course, the IPL mega auctions. A number of players who were part of this Indian team got some good money from various franchisees, and he was asked about whether that is playing on their minds, the players. So Rohit Sharma said yes, everybody. In fact, that people were glued to their television screen, and everybody was watching those that bidding process, the auction process. But now the action shifts back to cricket, the on-field cricket, and if he would prefer if you would prefer that all these players, all these batsmen, for example, Ishan Kishan bats right up the order, Surya Kumar Yadav, Shreyas Iyer, would there be an inclination if in Indian team also the very same players bat at the same position where they're playing in their IPL franchisees? So Rohit completely dismissed that idea. He's saying that this is the Indian team, and here a lot has to be managed. A lot has to be managed, considering how considering the needs and requirements of the Indian team. So clearly, Rohit Sharma has said that the IPL auction now is over, and their main goal is the T20 World Cup, and that is and every effort that the Indian team is making is towards that goal of winning the T20 World Cup in Australia, and also so those of you who've joined us, I'm just repeating what Rohit Sharma said on Virat Kohli, that he just wants Kohli to be left alone, because a lot of people have been talking about Virat's lack of hundreds. I won't say lack of runs because Rohit Sharma far too much about the lack of hundreds, and Virat is in great space, good state of mind. So it's just a matter of time before Virat is scoring those hundreds again. That's what Rohit Sharma believes. And Hardik Pandya, he was specifically asked about Hardik Pandya. Is there a need for Hardik Pandya even if he is not bowling? So Rohit Sharma feels that, of course, as an all-rounder, Hardik Pandya brings all three facets of his game, that is batting, bowling, and the fielding. But he can only use them if Hardik Pandya is fit, and Rohit Sharma is also, considering what has happened in the past, a few players have gotten injured. COVID, of course, a few players have tested positive for COVID in the past. So, in Australia, conditions will also depend. It's not just that, Hardik Pandya just walks into the team. So, conditions will also depend. As in, specifically in Australia, if they need a fast bowling all rounder, maybe Hardik Pandya comes into the team. If they need a spin all rounder, so maybe somebody else would be there. So there is no guarantee. At least that's what we can gauge from what Rohit Sharma said in the press briefing today, that there is no guarantee that Hardik Pandya, if he's fit and available, uh, that is what Rohit Sharma also said, that firstly, to be in that Indian team, you have to make yourself available. You have to be available, which means that you have to be fit enough to be part of that Indian team. So there is no guarantee. Kuldeep Yadav, of course, he was drafted late yesterday after Washington Sundar was ruled out from this three-match test series against West Indies. Kuldeep Yadav, he's saying that he hasn't had much of cricket lately in the last few months. So obviously he'll take time to get into the groove. He's a wicket-taking bowler. Um, and one of the reasons why he had to get out of the Indian team was that perhaps he wasn't his batting wasn't um, up to the mark, or batting is an area that where Kuldeep Yadav lags against compared to his peers. So but his wicket taking ability may get him, or rather, his taking ability has got him back into the Indian team, which would be useful in future also. So that is what Rohit Sharma. West Indies, remember, India are going to play their first T20 international of the three-match series against West Indies in Kolkata at Eden Gardens tomorrow, and that's one of the favorite hunting grounds for Rohit Sharma. But T20, of course. All right, Rishabh Pant is and Antino Lewis is saying Rishabh Pant is the vice captain. Yes, Rishabh Pant is the vice captain. Sabhi, right. Ram Krishna Meena is saying Twitter पे trend चलाओ back Raina. Yes, that was quite surprising. Not to see Suresh Raina in the Indian team, in the Indian, rather the in any of the IPL franchises, especially Chennai Super Kings. With whom he has had a close and a long relation association, and also, if I'm not wrong, when the auctions got over, Chennai Super Kings uh, still had money in the money remaining in their purse. um, Sarthak is saying, will Virat open tomorrow? Please tell. Sarthak, it seems a little unlikely because Ishan Kishan should open with Rohit Sharma, Virat at number three. Because the last time you saw this combination, as in Virat and Rohit playing and available in the Indian 11 in a T20, that was in World Cup, and KL Rahul and Rohit opened Virat at number three. So I believe that's going to continue. Uh, Kupwara Juniors, yes, Ishan will open. That's what I'm also saying. Amit Jha, Amit Kumar Jha, where? Uh, mm, mm, mm. Okay, if we can just keep our questions to cricket, Rahul sir. मैं आपको थैंक यू रामकृष्ण जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक्स अ लॉट, बिग डे फॉर उड़ीसा। बिल्कुल जी, बिल्कुल। Alok Oberoi is saying what is wrong with Kohli's form? It's mental issue, yeah, little bit luck because no technique issue. Alok, to be very honest, I feel that it has to do mental. It has to do the whatever is happening as of now with the Virat Kohli lack of those hundreds or runs. It could be a mental issue more than the technical issue. Are the IPL dates confirmed? Azhar Khan is asking. As of now, there is no official information on Indian Premier League, the starting date, but more or less it will start on or around 27th of March. Women's team's performance, Nikhil is saying, very poor. Actually, today they lost the second match against New Zealand in fact they've lost third match on this tour. And today was the second ODI against New Zealand. India, of course, scored 270, but couldn't defend that kind of a score. Harmanpreet Kaur, has been going through a very, very bad patch. Once again, she was a failure today. Scored just 10, and but it also has a lot to do with the bowling. Julan Goswami, of course, was missing from this 11, and they couldn't defend that score. Will crowds be allowed? No, sir. Crowds are not allowed. RCB is most dangerous. Why you gave only 5.5? Bhavesh, you'll have to go and check. You'll have to go and check. That's on Sports Tuck. I think not 5.5 on Sports Today. Um, from your point of view, which team best in auction? Alok Dubey. Sir, on paper, at least Lucknow Super Giants, it seems they've got all their bases covered. Mm, Mr. Tuck. Uh, me, Sony ji saying is, he's saying Mr. Tuck. रोहित ने बाहर टॉकिंग पॉइंट्स नहीं बोला था। उसने बोला था कि मीडिया अगर कुछ देर के लिए चुप हो जाए तो सब ठीक हो जाए। हैप्पी टॉक्सिक मीडिया एंड ओके, ठीक है मीत जी। आई थिंक आपने यू थिंक मीडिया इज अ वेरी स्मॉल वर्ल्ड। You've restricted it only to, I think, Sports Today or Sports Tak, but it's not just what you see on television, what you see in on these YouTube channels or on in newspapers, but it also has a lot to do with what is happening. We call social media also. All right, so maybe you are also part of that media, anyways. And if you really think that it is because of us that Virat is not scoring runs. So I think you think that we are actually very influential people. That's not. In fact, we also want Virat to get those runs, go those big hundreds once again. Uh, 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 मैं रामकृष्ण मीना जी देखते हैं Pant opening tomorrow. Unlikely, yeah. I think Ishan Kishan will open. Your prediction for T20 series. T20 series. Mm, See, T20 may not be as easy as it was in the ODI series because West Indies, they are known to be a good T20 side. They have a lot of all rounders. They've got a lot of all rounders in their team, and you saw that, and that is one of the reasons why some of their players, in fact, most of their players got those big bucks in the IPL auction. So, this is what Rohit Sharma had to say in the pre-match press conference. We'll be back later in the evening. If you have any questions, please send us your queries, send us your questions, and also subscribe to Sports Today. Thank you, and bye bye for now.